It is a pleasure to be invited to address the 5th Dasmariñas Model United Nations. Warm greetings to all of you from the Department of Foreign Affairs. I wish to let you know that this agency shares the aspiration you invoked in your theme, Collective Action Towards Achieving a World of Peace, Security, and Sustainability. First of all, allow me to pay tribute to the UN youth participants of the De La Salle University Dasmariñas. You have an important role to play in promoting awareness and encouraging the involvement of young people in addressing international issues of concern to the Philippines, and in informing your colleagues about the critical role the United Nations plays in meeting the challenges that confront our world. The United Nations was born out of destruction and death caused by the Second World War. It was the second time in 25 years that war on a global scale had devastated much of the world. The Philippines was one of the 50 allied nations that met at the 1945 UN Conference on International Organizations in San Francisco in an effort to find new ways to collectively resolve conflict between nations and prevent wars. Unfortunately, the goal of achieving world peace and harmony continues to elude us. The ongoing challenge to achieve these goals will soon fall on your generation. In these times of uncertainty, however, hope springs eternal for the many things that remain constant. There remains the assurance of steadfast cooperation and partnership between and among the countries of the United Nations, and a broad number of issues including health, climate change, and human rights. The beauty of multilateral relations is the inclusiveness of processes. In the UN system, individual states, regional blocs, and like-minded groups can make a difference by voting. Members are not discriminated against based on perceived importance or size. Because of this, the Philippines has been able to exhibit leadership in areas such as disarmament and peacekeeping. Within the UN, the Philippines continues to advocate for its key priorities on peace, security and sustainability, eradicating poverty, development, preventing conflict, and promoting democracy. Over the years, the Philippines and the UN have strengthened their relationship through programs and commitments that are mutually beneficial and geared towards sustainable development. Achieving sustainable development requires an enabling environment of peace, security, and the rule of law. It is to that end that the Philippines has relentlessly and tirelessly pursued the peace process in all fronts within the country. The Philippine approach in managing conflicts outside its borders is also anchored on the peaceful settlement of disputes, including mediation and arbitration and the rule of law. Guided by a principled foreign policy based on human rights, the rule of law, social equality, and promoting international peace and security, our diplomats, soldiers, policemen, educators, health workers, and other civil servants work tirelessly with the UN and civil society organizations around the globe. We all continue to fight poverty, rebuild from the devastation of armed conflict and natural disasters, champion the rights of the poor and the vulnerable, counter terrorism, the spread of weapons of mass destruction, and stem the effects of climate change. In the field of climate change negotiations, the UN provides an opportunity to build the foundation of climate-resilient societies for future generations. The 21st Conference of Parties to the UN Framework Convention on Climate Change, which was held in Paris in 2015, cemented international support for low-carbon economic growth trajectories, as well as access to climate financing and technology transfer. As a country that has experienced destruction of extreme weather conditions, bringing these objectives to reality is a priority for the Philippines. Filipinos have also held significant posts in the UN, from Carlos P. Romulo as President of the UN General Assembly. The Philippines has a significant footprint in the UN system. Many Filipinos have honorably served the country by fulfilling the duties that the position in various UN offices, in peacekeeping missions, and active participation in UN meetings or in a broad number of issues, not to mention a large presence in the operations of many UN bodies. In closing, I hope that you will use your idealism, energy, and commitment to contribute to the development of a society that is responsive to the challenges of our times. I wish you all a productive and meaningful Dasmariñas Model UN Conference. Maraming salamat.